Hi, folks, and welcome back inside Manhattan Basketball. Christian, I'm with the head coach of Manhattan Women's Basketball, John Olenowski. Coach, thanks a lot for the time, as always.
Absolutely, Christian.
Want to go back, obviously coming off a nice road win against Rider, but I want to go back to the game prior to that in Quinnipiac. Down double digits in that second half. You close it all the way. You have a chance to tie it up at the end. For a team like to do that against a squad like Quinnipiac, what does it say about the team right now?
Well, it's a huge game for us. I thought we played really, really well. And we had the opportunity to tie the game, so we stood toe-to-toe with them throughout the entire game. And they're a very, very good basketball team. They've got a great starting five and some really good players off the bench. They're well coached. So that was a real step-up game for us. And, we did very well against Fairfield the game prior to that, and then we stepped up and played Quinnipiac really tough. So we're starting to feel good about ourselves and play really good basketball.
A lot of offense in that contest as well, especially from the sophomore Blake Underhill.
Yeah.
What allowed her to be so successful?
Well, Blake has really been taking it hard to the basket, and she's really finishing and drawing fouls, and she's really doing a great job of taking it right at people. And that was a dimension I think we were kind of lacking a little bit. Allison does a good job with that, but she's much more of a penetrator and dish off, whatever. But Blake takes it right to the rim, and we needed somebody to be able to do that. So it's another dimension for us offensively.
Within that contest, as mentioned, the offense, this is a team that usually keeps it kind of low because of the defensive aspect of your game. But what was the difference in terms of the offensive output?
Well, I think the thing is we started off shooting the ball very well, and I think we jumped on them pretty good in the first half. And I think when you have real balanced scoring, believe we had 5 players in double figures that game. So when you have very balanced scoring like that, you become a lot more difficult to defend. And the fact that everybody was scoring really helped us out, and they couldn't key on any one player in particular. So it was a big key for us. It's
funny how the game of basketball can work and how sports can work. One game, you have a chance to tie it on the road and you miss a three. You come back the other way and you're on the road and you win because the team misses a chance to tie it with a three. Go through that Rider contest for us.
Well, the Rider contest was a completely different one than Quinnipiac. Rider, is a very good basketball team as well, with an outstanding player in Mackenzie, who may be the best player in the conference. But it was a defensive battle. The first half, there was a little bit more offense scored. It was 28-28, but you could tell all the points were highly contested, and it was going to be very difficult to get a high-scoring basketball game. So we're okay with that. We kind of like that style. And as the game unfolded, Allison hit a key shot down the stretch with 19 seconds to go, putting us up 3, and they had a chance to tie, but we had a really good steal by Shayna Erickson at the 6-second mark, and that kind of semi-sealed the victory. She did miss the free throw, and they did get a final shot, but for all intents and purposes, the steal was the big key down the stretch.
Talk about Allison's basket, because time winding down, under 30 seconds to go, able to make that basket and force it into a point where a layup or a two-point shot doesn't beat you.
Well, yeah, absolutely, and that was huge. And she does that well. She really drives down the middle of the lane, and she uses her body well. And it was a very, very tough shot in traffic, and one that we desperately needed at that time. So it was a big key, and I'm sure that was, from our standpoint, the turning point of the game.
You mentioned Shayna, obviously, with the late-game steal. One of the things that maybe goes underappreciated within her game is her ability to get steals like that.
Yeah, 6 steals is tremendous against a team like that was only averaging 12 turnovers per game. They were nationally ranked. So the fact that she did get those steals were great, and a lot of them led to baskets for us. So she did a great job at that end, and also got a lot of rebounds for us.
As you look for this team right now, the confidence of now a road victory, how much does that help?
Well, it always helps on the road. There's no question about that. We have been a good team on the road historically, so we're not really that concerned with playing on the road. It's always nicer to be at home, but we accept the challenge and like the challenge of playing the road games. So to get one against a real quality opponent really is going to help our confidence.
As always, I like to get the fans involved. Coach Alex on Twitter asking, what's your favorite part about coaching?
I think my favorite part is a chance to develop the players and to have them get better individually, and along with that, to have them have success, to feel good as a unit, to feel good as a group. That's my favorite team. A chance to build a team for a championship. When you can do that and then you can finally win that championship, there's no greater feeling in the world. So I think it would be the team aspect of building a champion and the individual aspect of helping players become better.
Had an interesting way of building that team so far this year. We talked about it, the clean slate come MAC play. Now that you're into it a little bit as well, where are you in terms of building that for this year?
Well, I think we're right where we want to be right now. I mean, of course, we would have liked to turn a game or two around, but we're right in the mix of things. We're in standing wise, we're in the middle of the conference with a chance to move up. So I'm happy with our efforts so far in the conference. I think that we play well against conference teams, and I think we know the conference very, very well. So I think that helps. So I'm happy with our progress, but most especially I'm happy right now that we're playing the kind of defense that we've really wanted to play all year. And as you know, defense keeps you in every basketball game, and it gives us a chance to be successful even against the better teams in the conference.
As we look forward down the schedule, where are the keys that you're looking for coming up?
Well, again, we want to try to get ourselves on a nice run and keep building upon it, and trying to get better each and every game. And I think we're doing that. So we have lofty goals, and I think if we continue to play well, that we can still achieve those.
Girls have off today after the win on Thursday, but when you get back at it, what are you working with?
Well, again, what we want to do is continue to work hard defensively. We'd like to get some offensive things in that we need to clean up a little bit, and keep working on the rebounding aspect, because it's one of the tough things when you're a smaller team to compete on the glass. But we've been fighting, and I think we're getting better in that area. So kind of all three of those areas to work on, but I think more than anything, defensively is what we put our most time for preparation in.
I feel like we'd be remiss if we didn't at least bring it up. Your opponent on Monday, you're on the road at Iona, a team that just now beat Marist. And when you and I have talked over the last couple of years, it's been Manhattan, the only team in the conference to do that. When you see another team in this conference beat the Red Foxes, what does that do for maybe the mentality aspect?
Well, I don't think it was a tremendous surprise. I mean, I think certainly that everybody respects Marist, and I think everybody understands that Marist has been the champion for many, many years. But Iona has always been knocking on the door, and they have the talent to beat anybody. And I think everybody's felt that over the last year or two, that one of these days they're going to be able to have the opportunity to beat a Marist-type team, and certainly they have. So I think that it's a surprise anytime Marist loses, but a quality team like Iona winning that game, it really doesn't surprise me a whole lot.
Being on the other side of it now, where you see a conference team defeat Marist, not being that team that does it, what does that do for maybe, I guess, a mental standpoint of, okay, Marist is human?
Well, I still don't think they're human. I think that they lost a close basketball game against a quality opponent, but if I'm not mistaken, they rebounded well today, and they won their game up at Niagara. So I think that you have to treat Marist as a team that you've got to be ultra ready for, and you've got to be so prepared in order to compete with them. So I don't think anything changes along those lines. I just think that it tightens up the conference a little bit, and it makes it a little bit of a race down the stretch for a number of teams.
With the Gales on the docket, no more Tony Bazell. Obviously, he has left the program and gone over to Seton Hall. But where have there been any changes, if any changes, to the style of play?
Well, there's been a little bit of change, but I think that they still have some of the staff there, and they certainly know what they're doing, and their style of play fits so well with the tremendous talent that they have. And I think that Billy was very smart to keep that style and then add things on her own, whatever, which is even making them better. But I think that they're a team to be reckoned with, and they play so well together. They're so dangerous that they're really one of these teams that everybody's going to have to be ready for in order to compete with them. You
mentioned the talent, and obviously two of the best over the last couple of years that we've seen in the MAC, and D'Amica Martinez and Joy Adams. The two of them, you could talk individually, but what do the two of them bring to this team?
Two of the best players in the conference, without a doubt. Two of the most athletic players in the conference. Two of the most dynamic players in the conference that do everything. They score, they rebound, they play defense. They're leaders, tremendous athletes, whatever. So those two have really, really vaulted Iona to probably a whole new level from where they were from the last couple of years.
What do you do defensively against this Iona squad?
Well, you hope that D'Amica and Joy oversleep, whatever, and maybe don't make the opening part of the game. But actually, what you really hope to do is to really make it difficult for them to get easy looks, because they're so good when they get open shots, and they're so good at following things up, that what you have to do is put great pressure on the ball and then really contest everything and make everything difficult for them to get those looks, whatever, and then somehow keep them off the boards, because that's a big key.
It's one thing going up against a team like Marist that is so well balanced, where it's tough to focus on that one player to work with. Iona, obviously, you've got the two-headed monster of Adams and Martinez, but where is that maybe tertiary option, that sleeper that you want to make sure you don't get going?
Well, their whole starting five is tremendous. They all average over 30 minutes a game, and they're all scoring at a high rate. And Sabrina inside Girador is just a monster shot blocker or whatever, so that she gives them a whole new dimension in there. So what you really want to do, though, is you want to keep them to what they've been scoring. Those three, keep them to what they've been scoring and maybe a little under that, and just hope that those two that are really, really outstanding don't have the kind of nights that will absolutely kill a team. So you want to try to limit their touches as much as possible.
Manhattan looks to carry the momentum after a nice road win at Ryder. Don't forget, you can tweet us your questions for the next Inside Manhattan Basketball at GoJaspers. You can email us, gojaspers@manhattan.edu, and you can also follow Coach on Twitter at John Alanowski. Coach, thanks a lot for the time.
Thank you, Christian. I appreciate it.
And thank you for joining us inside Manhattan Basketball.